once more the lusty month of May is upon us. And as with jelly beans, candy canes, even candy corn, the change in season has reignited my interest in Camelot. It doesn't necessarily seem to be the most highly regarded musicals out there, certainly not one of the first ones that come to mind when you think of a Broadway show. Usually that's something like Wicked, Phantom of the Opera, or Sweeney Todd, not necessarily helped by the kind of good, kind of not 1969 film of it, but regardless, it's probably my favorite musical I've ever seen. It doesn't quite have the spectacle that Phantom does, nor the haunting dark humor of Sweeney Todd, but it's able to balance comedy and tragedy all in one show. The first act is incredibly funny, and then as you get into the second and third act, sure there's still hints of that humor, but it slowly slips away as the beauty and dream of Camelot and the Round Table starts to fall apart. But one of the biggest reasons I love Camelot is King Arthur, namely his big end of second act monologue. At that point, it's made clear that Guinevere and Lancelot, even if they haven't necessarily done anything together, they've still lusted in their minds for each other. Arthur in part feels betrayed, backstabbed by the two people he loves most. He's tired of hoping that he's wrong. He also knows that he can't ignore the sheer fact of what's in front of him, and that they won't be able to carry on as they've been, as though he's just waiting for their infidelity to become a physical act. And he's upset by that. He wants to take vengeance on them. But the beauty is, he realizes just how irrational that is. Sure, it stings when the person you love seems to have chosen someone over you, but as he states it, what if their pain? Can passion be selected? Could they have chosen to have fallen for each other? And he recalls that when they look at him with guilt, with sadness. They too are bothered what this means for their beloved Arthur. And he recalls that he's building his kingdom on chivalry and being civilized, leading away from what he sees as the barbaric ways of the past. Might does not make right. Might should be used for right. So what does this say of him if he's to use his might against two people he loves who are simply victims of the passions that humans have? And this scene really makes me love Arthur. He's able to push away the carnal desires to seek revenge and do the thing that he knows is right. He knows it's wrong to blame Lancelot and Guinevere, and so instead seeks to help them and continue on their quest to see the Round Table through. Not only that, but also protect them and ensure that no harm comes to them over this. Not only that, it's just simply right, but it's what a king should do. In his eyes, a king should be a model for morality and rationality. A king should be civilized. He should not be given to the whims of men, including seeking revenge for something people can't control. What does it say of King Arthur's court if he himself does not embody the principles of chivalry? While I am saddened in the movie that this makes Arthur into a less worthy king, I mean essentially going down the bad guy route to protect Lancelot and Guinevere, which is still realistic and I appreciate on some level, I still far prefer the stage version. There is still talk that Lancelot and Guinevere are kind of extra friendly. No one's being banished over it, and nothing negative really comes over it until Mordred enters the picture. Arthur isn't punished for basically allowing himself to be cuckolded in his own home, and neither are necessarily Lance or Guinevere. What they are punished for is carelessness. Meeting up alone in Guinevere's bedchambers when Arthur is away, basically saying, "Hey Mordred, come bring the guards and incriminate us." And even after everything falls apart, when the Round Table is dead, Arthur still doesn't blame Guinevere or Lancelot. He still loves them and forgives them for running away and essentially causing a war. He'd rather see them alive and well than facing execution back in Camelot. This sort of rationalization and, for lack of a better term, civilizedness is something that I don't get to see often, especially in real life. As humans, we are often creatures driven by our emotions and don't often stop to think about, is it fair to react to this situation in this manner? Is it really fair to be seeking vengeance over it? King Arthur, at least in the 1982 stage version I've seen, embodies self-reflection. Though as he states he's not an accomplished thinker, when he finds the confidence in himself to think, he's very good at it. He's more well thought than most people that I find, to the point where he's able to stop and question his own emotions. I also connected on a deep level because that's how I try to live my life. And then to see it embodied on stage, it sort of gives you that feeling of, I'm glad I'm not the only one who thinks this way. It's an ideal that I wish more people would live up to. Thank you so much for consuming this video, and until next time.